Okay, more videos about record albums. And this is going to be a review of a couple of soundtracks. But before we get into that, we need to get into Black Sky Over the Project's Apartment 2025. This is the new Public Enemy album, and it's brand new. And this thing sounds like every once in a while Al Jorgensen would come into the studio and mess around with the mix. Anyway, this is not hip hop, it's like rock and rap. It's a rap album, but heavy on the rock and roll. So I heavily suggest the new Public Enemy Black Sky. That was fast. Okay. Also, I saw the recent John Candy documentary, and the part in Trains, Planes, and Automobiles when he's driving the car and he's jamming out to the song that's on the radio and he gets his coat stuck. Well, this is that song. Mess Around by Ray Charles. So I thought I'd show this in celebration of the John Candy documentary. All right, let's get into it. This is the soundtrack to one of the greatest movies ever. But it's not the full soundtrack. It's a lot of it, but it's not the whole thing. Comes with this, telling you the specifics of the recording. And here's what the LP looks like, or at least the one I got. Now it won't go back in. I lied, it did go back in. Anyway, this thing is out of sight. This soundtrack is just as good as the movie. But there's a problem with this soundtrack, and we're going to get into that. Oh well. It doesn't have any of the music numbers on it by the Busboys, but it does have the musical part of when they go into the cowboy bar, but I guess that was written by the composer of 48 Hours, so it has that, but it doesn't have the Busboys on it, and it's a heartbreaker. But not for me. Because between this 7-inch and this 12-inch, I've got them. So if you need the complete 48 Hours, you're going to have to get the Boys Are Back in Town 7-inch, and you're going to have to get the American Worker album by the Busboys. Now you got a complete copy of the soundtrack to 48 Hours. Okay, here we go. Next up is the soundtrack to Trading Places, Dan Aykroyd and Eddie Murphy. This is exactly what you remember from the film. And again, it doesn't have the Do You Wanna Funk With Me by Sylvester on it, which is too bad. I don't know what the deal is with not adding those songs, but it doesn't matter. This is pretty good. It's not as exciting to listen to as the 48 Hours, but it's worth your money. And here's what came in it. Duke and Duke Commodities Broker, the Financial Journal, and let's look at what the album looks like. So lots of chamber music, orchestra music on this gold release. So you know what I did, or what I had done, I didn't even know that these two existed until Mona Blea told me about them. Okay, here's Do You Wanna Funk by Sylvester. This is the song that's in this movie, Trading Places. Also, one of the greatest movies ever made. All right, that's my album review for the two great Eddie Murphy movies. And hey, here's a book. It's a hardback cartoon book about Ed Gein. I've been reading it. It's not bad. Did you hear what Eddie Gein done? It's not bad. Alright, that's the end of this video. I may do another one. I'm tired. What a vacation I had.